Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. You know what? Ramadan Mubarak to everyone that is celebrating. I'm fasting. It's a tough day for me, to be honest with you. However, I thought before I do my counter view show or I do any panel show, I thought I really need to get to do a solo show to talk with the people. I'm sorry I'm late. It's Ramadan, you know the drill. You gotta wake up, pray, do all the stuff, and do all the things. So hit the like button, guys, if you guys are here. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, of course. I want to actually, we're going to address a couple of things, of course. I know I titled the video, Was I Wrong? We're going to discuss what does that mean. What did I mean by this? Who said what and all the stuff. There is a lot of meltdown on Twitter. It's actually depressing. If you are a rival to Arsenal, you literally talk about oh my God, it's so fun watching the meltdown for Arsenal. And if you wanted Arsenal to win the league, or you actually have any like a shred of empathy or sympathy in your heart, you would feel bad for some of the people that actually their hearts are broken. By the way, during my time on YouTube, I don't think I have seen a meltdown like this in my life, to be honest with you. I don't think I have seen. Probably the meltdown. I don't think I've seen a meltdown like this, to be honest with you. I don't think I've seen a meltdown. Also, there is a lot of people that I want to be here. Big up Akia, of course, for the super chat. I really appreciate you. I want to get to your comments. I want to get to what you guys think as well. I'm going to actually say a lot of stuff here that I'm going to say what I think, to be honest with you. Is the chat coming for the judge? Regarding the Bodo Glimt results and everything, I'm just get this out of the way. I spoke about it yesterday on Chef. The reason why I didn't record a reaction to the Arsenal, because I actually didn't get to watch the actual extended highlights until way later, actually, just to let you guys know. Like, I watched some highlights and I watched the game. It was live in front of me, but in the same time, I couldn't focus on it because I was focused on the Inter game. It was on the big screen in front of me. The extended highlights for Arsenal, I think they go down at somehow some part like later and all the stuff. So I didn't. So hit that like button and I want to get your comments. I know there is a lot of people that are depressed about Arsenal, and I'm going to tell you something about this. But let me just start by saying a couple of things, okay? Inter and Bodo Glimt. Inter deserved the loss without a shadow of a doubt. I am annoyed that we're going to go down to Bodo Glimt. I'm going to do a watch along for the return leg on Tuesday. I think Inter are going to go out. I never had a I never had a belief that we're gonna win the Champions League or have any chance of winning the Champions League. I actually still I believe that Inter will win the league, will win our league, which was the target from the beginning. I think we can actually win the cup as well, and I think that would be enough for us. However, the Champions League is prestige. The Champions League is funds. The Champions League is reach. The Champions League gives you pull, gives you give you bigger name and all the stuff. Even though Inter lost the final last season, still in this season, I want to reach final stages of the Champions League. But I think if it's gonna affect my league, I will absolutely get out of it. But I did want to get out of Bodo Glimt. I just want to put this straight. I don't want Inter to get out of the Champions League, to be honest with you. Here is now, so that's for Inter. And actually, Inter were very clear that we literally fielded a second team against Bodo Glimt. We didn't feature Hakan Çalhanoğlu, we didn't feature Zelinski, we didn't play Bisek, we didn't play DeMarco, we didn't play Thuram, we didn't play Luis Enrique. We played the second team basically during that game, and it was very obvious that Pivo didn't want to, like, he didn't care as much about the game, to be honest with you. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, which is what everyone wants to talk about. It's the Arsenal versus Wolves game. Let me give you my thoughts on the game as well. You scammed us into thinking that Arsenal would win the league. Here is the deal about this. This is, and if you're here, this is, I told you I'll always be honest about this. I never said anything I didn't believe in. Yesterday was the first time I literally thought, I told you that the first time I thought that Man City could go on a run was against Wolves, right? Was against Fulham in the first half. I thought this Man City could go on a run. And people challenged me on it. And I said that Man City was so in control that it reminded me of the Man City of old. Now, if you want to talk about the game yesterday was the first game, right, where actually I sat down and I said, this is a game that Arsenal should completely dominate, should not be under the cush. Wolves in the second half should not have had more position than them. Wolves in the second half should not have had that much opportunities. I'm not going to say chances. And that is the problem yesterday for Arsenal. Is it the fact that the nerves are coming to Arsenal? Yesterday, I have no explanation for the game other than in the last minutes, when they allowed that goal in, this is where the nerves creeped in. And I think actually the goal was on Gabriel. You know what I mean? The goal was on Gabriel 100%. But one of the things that I will push against is that if people are talking about pressure, I'm checking something on the side. If people are talking about pressure, you know what? And I said that on MHF yesterday, if you haven't watched that. And I'm just going to say it here again. If the pressure was getting to the players, how come Arsenal were 2-0 ahead? I understand if the pressure is getting to you, if you approach the game and you are crumbling from the beginning, you are nervous in the beginning, you are making mistakes in the beginning. In the beginning of the game, Arsenal were cruising. That means Arsenal prepared for the game. And Arsenal went in the game, scored the first goal, and they still controlled the game, and they still had shots, and they still controlled the tempo of the game. In the first half, Wolves had 0 shots on target. Wolves had 30% position. Arsenal completely dominated the game. The problem happened in the second half, which tells me that they were complacent. And I'm going to tell you something about this. Actually. One of the things that big mistakes that Arsenal did yesterday, to be honest with you, is not control the game. It's Zubamendi and Rice not being able to control the game. Too many times Arsenal were dispossessed. And that is not nerves as much as quality and tactics and overconfidence and complacent. That is my opinion. You're complacent. Arsenal team thought the game is over. This is the problem. We always told you, Mo, that City are favorites. No, you didn't, because every single pundit, even City fans, see, I am not going to listen to anyone that said I told you so, because, and I'm going to say it again, The Arsenal that we saw yesterday was not the Arsenal that we saw against Leeds. If Arsenal were going to crumble, my friend, right? If Arsenal were going to crumble, that is what I mean. If Arsenal were going to crumble, they were going to crumble against Leeds, against Forest. They weren't going to win against Newcastle away. You know what I mean? They weren't going to win this game. They weren't going to win against Bournemouth when they fell 1-0 behind. But Arsenal fell 1-0 behind for a mistake against Bournemouth. So you were never told me. And by the way, Man City, still currently as it stands, haven't showed me the level that is required. Arsenal now are beating themselves. Man City haven't shown the level. Because if you look at the games, here we go. If you look at the games at Man City still drew against Spurs, lost against United. The only impressive win in this run is against Liverpool. And in that game against Liverpool, Man City were very good in the first half, but they didn't score. They kind of created one big chance in that first half, and they were behind, and they come back in the second half, right? So for me, you didn't tell me so. Like people that, I hate this analysis when people tell me, and it's not ego. When people tell me, I told you so. Arsenal, if they were going to crumble after the loss of Man United, they were going to crumble against Leeds, but they didn't. They were going to crumble against Forest, against Sunderland, right? The problem, to be honest with you, is that yesterday they should have walked the game, and they didn't. They didn't walk the game yesterday at all. And that is the problem for Arsenal. And that is a big problem for Mikel Arteta. I'm going to actually blame it again. Gabriel, if you watch the goal again, Gabriel, I refuse to see that Raya did not shout and actually say his name to go and get the ball. And Gabriel completely fumbled. Again, Gabriel, the gene, the mistake that it's in him came back. Again, let's see what my man here is saying. Mo, with his neutrality, has decided to take on the biggest burden this season, supporting Arsenal to end their title drought, and at the same time defending himself against the online Arsenal hate. Mo, explain 1 verse 7. I'm going to tell you. Now, I literally just explained, which is spot on. Number one, you're not going to tell me that throughout the season, until the Wolves game, Arsenal weren't the best team in the league. Arsenal were top of the league by a big margin. Arsenal beat teams that they didn't beat before. Yes, they lost against Man United. They went to Ellen Road and smashed them 4-0. They went to Newcastle and won. Against Bournemouth, away from... I'm not going to explain it again, just to respond to your super chat. Big up for a super chat. Against Bournemouth, they fell 1-0 behind, and they still won the game. If you look at the Arsenal fixtures, there is a lot of games... there is a lot of games for Arsenal that you think, if the team is not good and it's not coached well, they actually don't win the game, right? I'm checking. There are some games actually that Arsenal have played, and they kind of like played very well in him as well. If you talk about Everton away from home, banana skin 1-0 Arsenal. Banana skin against Brighton at home, right? You're talking about losing to Villa and then winning to Villa again. That's a banana skin. You get my point. I hope that people get my point. At that time, even until the Brentford game, by the way, the Brentford is a tough place to go. And if you're talking, people are saying now in hindsight, you know what I mean? People are saying in hindsight. And even though it's not, maybe Arsenal are not scintillating, right? Arsenal are scintillating. But again, Arsenal are well structured, very well structured. The problem with it, if you're going to make structured, if you're well structured, then you make mistakes. And that's what happened yesterday. And I got to be honest, I told you, yesterday is the first time I'm like, no, this team is not good. And I was telling Osama that I'm like, this team, the team that played yesterday is even different than the team that played against Brentford. Because you're 2-0 ahead and you're throwing it away against the worst team in the league. Literally. Not the same city, but this is the same Arsenal. And until yesterday, I didn't see the same Arsenal, Kelk. And I'm going to be honest with you. I told you, until yesterday, I didn't see the same Arsenal. Like, until yesterday, Kelk, I don't see the same Arsenal. Which is you're spot on in this. I'm listing all the reasons why this is a choke. Yes. I think yesterday actually is one of the biggest. By the way, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think there's a title-winning team that would go to Wolves away and actually collapse like this. It's exactly that. And to everyone that keeps saying, by the way, all the trolls online and all the people online that keep saying that, oh my God, we told you about Arsenal. No, you didn't. You were just saying stuff, trolling online, hoping that it sticks. And to be honest with you, it's stuck. It is absolutely stuck. Aki saying villain arc is over. Put the Gunnar fries in the bag. I'm going to tell you something. Someone texted me yesterday. I'm not going to reveal who. And someone texted me yesterday and said, I think this is a choke, but I still believe the Arsenal favorites. For the first time yesterday, I am actually now going to, it's a 50-50 title now. This is not. Because what happened yesterday is something that is not normal. That is not normal. And I still don't have an explanation for it. How are you? It's stuck. It's literally stuck. You're spot on. And I agree with you. The problem is, before yesterday, there was no evidence other than why talk to Arsenal fans, just wait, right? And then yesterday, I wanted to show you, I want to show you the Rory TikTok, to be honest with you. I'm going to show you the Rory Instagram. Genuinely. Because Rory said everything yesterday. Everything. Actually, yesterday. He literally said everything yesterday. And I really want to show you what Rory said yesterday. Because the guy is speaking facts. You know what I mean? Like, it is.
That is disgusting. How have
I'm gonna show you the Rory thing, but let me do the super chats quickly. It's the same as fans being wrong for the last 3 years and then telling other fans they were wrong. If Arteta wins after 6 years with no trophy, if Arteta goes after 6 years, Sean with no trophy, I'm gonna tell you something. And I said it to people yesterday, and people don't believe me. Even if he wins the cup and he choke this Premier League, I actually think that it's not only about him. This group of players is missing something big. And I keep telling people, and people actually disagreed with me a lot. I said that this Arsenal team, which is what said yesterday, they need a big player. They need a superstar. You know what? They need someone, and I keep saying this, they need someone bigger than Saka. They need someone bigger than Declan Rice. They need someone bigger than Gabriel, especially in the front line. I'm not saying at the back, someone in the front line. And Saka yesterday scored a goal and completely disappeared. Completely disappeared. And I'm going to say something. I want to tell you, to be honest with you guys, a front line with Eucharist, right? Martinelli and Madueke is not a title-winning front line. You know what? Martinelli is a backup player. Madueke is a backup player for Saka. You know what I mean? But having that front line doesn't win you the freaking title. It doesn't. It won't win you the title. It won't. It won't win you the title. It won't win you the title. That front line, that Martinelli guy, and I'm going to tell you something, that Martinelli guy is one of the, to be honest with you, Martinelli is a winger that should play for like Elanga for Nottingham Forest. And only a team that plays on the counter-attack, and even then, puts his head down, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough. Martinelli. Broski, the guy. Madueke, for example. Yeah, he scored a goal. There is no maverick in that front line. You know what? Saka, even 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when the front line wasn't doing the good things, Saka used to take it upon himself to make things happen. There is nobody in that front line that actually make things happen. I'm sorry. They're all just playing within the system. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. And I'm going to tell you something. That front line, I say it over and over again, and people need to actually believe me about this. If you are going to play that front line, you need to have a game, because that front line will score goals against Wolves. Saka scored against Wolves. Hincapié scored against Wolves. You know what I mean? But if you're going to make that front line work, you need to make zero mistakes, Sean. I think that is what happened. And he made mistakes. And they made mistakes. By the way, they didn't make one mistake. They made 2-3 mistakes. I know that the people that keep saying, but the goals were 0.24 XG, blah, blah, blah. You make a mistake, you get punished for it. The first goal, by the way, brilliant shot. A mistake by Raya, and Hincapié is not even throwing his body on the line to block the shot. Hincapié was far from the guy. He's not even blocking the shot. He ain't even blocking the guy. He ain't. So what are you expecting? And the guy curled it. Brilliant goal. After this, dominate the damn game. You didn't. You didn't. You absolutely couldn't dominate the game. Mike is saying pressure got to the players like Gabriel. Same against Brentford. 2-1, Mikel Arteta and Rice was telling them to calm down and kept going long. We have to beat Spurs. It's not only that. Forget beating Spurs is okay. You gotta be. By the way, you must beat Spurs. Otherwise, you'll have to resign, broski. If Man City wins Saturday against Newcastle, which is they most likely they will, and you don't win against Spurs, broski, you're in big trouble. Because that is the definition of like everything was going okay, and then boom, you choked. You choked. Jamal here is saying, yesterday was unacceptable, but same rivals who were saying our fans went early are now saying the league is over. The league is far from over, as I've said all year. However, maybe even if I agree with you, even if I tell you I agree with you, again, you know what? Everyone that expected Arsenal fall, they said Arsenal going to the Emirates. They might not win against Chelsea. They're going to Spurs. No one said you're going to fall against Wolves, bro. Broski, I don't think people understand. If this is my team, I'll be losing my head for real. People saw me when I'm losing my head for real. You were 2-0 up against a team that has 9 points. It's minute 60. 2-0 up. Comfortable. You are walking the game. You have Declan Rice. You have Zubamendi. You got Gabriel. You got Saliba. You got Timba. You got Hincapié. Right? You got Saka there. He got injured. Fine. You were walking the game, bro. The problem, by the way, I'm going to say it again. The problem with Arsenal collapsing wasn't the collapse itself. It's the circumstances of the collapse. It's the 2-0 up against the bottom team. You know, I said it yesterday. If you were going to Wolves, Wolves are fighting for their life. You're 0-0. You're trying to grab a goal. It's not your day. You are peppering their goal. Their goalkeeper is having a Buffon and Iker Casillas. They are Peter Schmeichel there. You know what I mean? And you're hitting the post. It's not happening. You know when City used to lose games back in the days? City used to have like 20 shots. The goalkeeper would have the day of his life. And then a counter attack, and City would drop points, and we'd say, oh, yep, City dropped points. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Broski, the second half, Wolves had more ball position than you. The second half, Wolves had more ball position than Arsenal. Now, is the team that is top of the league 2-0 up against the bottom team, and you have less position, you're conceding. It's called, if you played football itself, you're conceding the play. You're 2-0 up. Why are you conceding the play? You know, City against Spurs in the second half, when people said that City collapsed, but at least that was Spurs. Spurs, they have good players. Spurs, they have Zab Simmons. You know what I mean? They have Solanke, they have Colomboan. Like, Spurs have good players, you know. As much as we say that Spurs are shit and all of this, Spurs have some international. Xavi Simmons is a Dutch international. Solanke is an England international. Sarr is a Senegalese international. You know, they have international players. Palhinha is the Brazilian international. They have international players. Conor Gallagher is an England international that plays for Atletico Madrid. Who do Wolves have? Spurs have Thomas Frank. These guys have, what's his name? Rob, whatever his name. There's no excuse, broski. 2-0 up. You know, you can, and at that time, City, this is the biggest bottle job game in the whole league. Yesterday for Arsenal is the biggest bottle job game in the whole league. From City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, from anybody. You cannot be 2-0 up, minute 60, and you fumble. You gotta be honest. Am I right? It's the biggest bottle job in the whole league. This game. This 90 minutes. This 90 minutes. Sunderland, you're 1-0 up. They brought 2-1-1. You're 2-1 up, and it's Sunderland away. And Sunderland are way tougher than, I'm sorry. Sunderland are way tougher. You know what I mean? Sunderland are way tougher than this. I haven't. I never had an agenda. So I'm responding to, I never have an agenda. I never. Arsenal were top of the league, winning games that everyone thought everyone thought the Arsenal would struggle at Ellen Road. They won 4-0. Everyone thought the Arsenal would go to St. James's Park in the beginning of the season and lose. Everyone thought they would lose at Man United. Everyone thought 1-0 down. I'm responding again to the same point that people keep repeating. Everyone thought that Arsenal 1-0 down against Bournemouth. People said, here we go. They're going to drop points. Gabriel made the mistake. Everyone saw this, right? Everyone saw this. You know what I mean? That game yesterday is different than all the other games. But even Man United have individual brilliance. Man United scored from world-class goals. Arsenal didn't make like mistakes like this. Man United scored from amazing goals. You know what I mean? Bro, the problem with you, my man, is that you can't accept the truth. Yesterday game is so bad that it's a big dent. That's a big dent. Even Arsenal fans, most of them agree. Castro, I told you before, I don't say stuff online that I don't believe in. When I said the Arsenal were the best team in the league, I believe the Arsenal the best team in the league. And they were the best team in the league. And they might be still are now, right, in points. But a drop points against Wolves is a big dent. It's a big dent. My man, big up. Mo, please tell me something. Okay, I always tell you something. How do you explain Arsenal form in 2026? I think Arsenal have the players, but the manager's personality and the system restrict them. Although yesterday's result was not, well, it wasn't exactly. Let me tell you the six. Let me tell you the six games. Number one, again, is Man United. Man United were new manager bounce. Man United were very good. And I think Arsenal were, again, in that game, Arsenal created more chances. Man United had world-class goals. And against Leeds, let me check actually which 2026. And just, by the way, Arsenal, in December 30th, they won against Aston Villa 4-1. I'm just listing the games to see what you're talking about. And then Bournemouth, in January 3rd, they were 1-0 down with a mistake and they fumbled. And then they drew Liverpool, fine. And then Forest away from home, tough game, but Arsenal should have won that. And then they won against Inter, away from home. They won against Chelsea in the Cup. And then they lost to Man United. And then from that point, they won against Leeds. They won against Chelsea again. They won against Sunderland. And now the last two games is Brentford, which I think it's a tough game. And then all these games, there is a couple of games that they are very, very unacceptable. Very, very unacceptable. The Wolves, if I rank the games that are unacceptable, Wolves number one, right? Forest away number 2, Man United number 3, and then Brentford. That is the reality. That is the reality about what is going on, my man. In 20, this Wolves game is so bad that it makes me wonder, because City played well against Fulham. I'm going to repeat it again. City played well against Fulham for the first half. But now, if you're looking at this Arsenal team, you know what? Brentford, a tough team. Brentford played well. Brentford at their own ground, they are absolutely fantastic, right? You are talking now about you're going out against Wolves. That is the only unexplainable team. I am absolutely, you know what? I'm fasting. Eucharist is the worst striker in the Premier League. I'm going to actually say one more thing as well. But a big up Dan Potts for the raid. Big up everyone that joined us from the 12th Man podcast. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. If you're new, hit the like button, subscribe. Come on, let's get to 200 likes. With over 400 people here. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe if you're new. If you're new, hit the like button and subscribe. I want to actually still listen to what freaking Arteta said, actually. Eucharist is the worst striker in the Prem easily right now. Listen, I said, I watched the guy. I haven't changed my opinion on him. He's not good. Also having Madueke on one side. And Martin, I'm going to say another thing as well. Another thing. To be honest with you, this is one of the other things that I actually thought about this yesterday. Hincapié he scored a goal and everything. Hincapié, and I'm going to tell you in theory, right? Yesterday, Timba is a defensive right back. Hincapié is more of a defensive left back. Yes, he scored. Martinelli, I don't think he's good enough. Eucharist is not good enough. Madueke is not good enough. You literally have the two backs, the two fullbacks, and the two wingers and the striker. There are 5 players, apart from Saka, who only scored a goal and did nothing, right? It's not good enough, even though you score 2 goals. I would like if I would like to see Ben White play. I would like to see Calafiori earlier. Is he injured? Calafiori? I don't know. Is he injured? Calafiori? I actually don't know. Why is Ben White not getting a look? By the way, Zubamendi was not good. This is one of the games I've got to call it out. If I'm going to say for Caicedo, Zubamendi, not good. Put Norgard. Why not? Experienced, played for Brentford. He's big body, physical. Norgard. Why not? Sometimes you got to think about, I got to do something different. Is Norgard prevented from touching the pitch? I don't know. Ahmed Moburn and up inside. His team fumbled at Wolves. My team fumbled at Bodo Glimt, Habibi. Your team fumbled with Como at home. I am telling you that I am annoyed that Arsenal dropped points. I'm not even saying otherwise. People know that. People know that. Turn my mic down. Okay, I can. It's easy. If my mic is loud, how about now? Is that better? I don't know what you're talking about. You're chatting shit. You still have a chance to win the league. I'm saying it's 50-50. You gotta go. To be honest with you, we were talking to someone yesterday. Man City at the Etihad are not a guaranteed win versus Arsenal, but they are at the Etihad. So I'm gonna say that basically, I'll explain to you if you open your mind. I don't know if you're like 12 years old or something. I'm gonna explain to you why. And I actually said that. We actually discussed this on Football Terrace yesterday. I actually discussed it in Footy Judge Mo. We asked the question, where do football go if City win the league from here? If City win the league, that's the problem now. And I'm going to be level with you. I'm going to be completely honest. If City win the Premier League this season, it's a testament to how good they are, yes, at the end of the season. But also, if City win the league, it's okay if Pep leaves. If Pep, 100% Kel, I'm honest about this. If City win the league this season and Pep stays, now that we talk about football in the summer, we're talking about, okay, City are going to win it. Who's your favorite to win the league? It will be City. It will be City. It will be City. As long as they have Pep, it will be City. You know what I mean? It will be City. It makes it like similar to, if you're going to ask me who's going to win Ligue 1, Ligue 1 in France, who's going to win the Bundesliga, it is Bayern Munich and it is Paris Saint-Germain. It makes it like, as long as Pep stays, the conversation is moot about who's winning the Premier League. Imagine if Arsenal win even this team that you guys say about Arsenal, imagine if Arsenal win the league, right? Now that opens the door to maybe Liverpool come back to the fold. City are going to get stronger and they're going to try to win it again. We're going to have 3 different league winners in the last 3 years. And I always explain this to people. Best time watching the Premier League for me, in terms of unpredictability, was between 2009 when Man United won it until 2018 when Man City won it. Because at that time, there was no back-to-back winners. You go to United, Chelsea, United, City, United, then it was Chelsea again. You know what I mean? Then it was City, and then it was Leicester, then Chelsea, then Man City, and then Man City retained it. That's the best period of watching football if you don't know who's going to win the league. The title race is more exciting. Talking in the summer is more exciting. Talking about the league is more exciting. That's what people don't understand. It's not because I want Arsenal to win the league because I love Arsenal. I have no affiliation with Arsenal. People actually watch my watch along. You know what I mean? If Arteta doesn't win the league, Arteta might go. But then it doesn't give anybody any hope, right? Apart from maybe Liverpool. That's the reality. Anyway, I wanted to actually check something out with you. Let me just see. I wanted to show you. This is the form that Arsenal are actually in now. This is the form that Arsenal are actually in now. Couple of more things. I want to actually listen to what Arteta said, to be honest with you. I want to listen to what Arteta said now, to be honest. Let's actually see. Here you go. This is it. I hope that you can hear it. Let me just cancel something. It's actually.
In honesty, does that feel self-inflicted tonight?
Yeah, it's very tough to accept it, but yeah, the second half.
Can you guys hear it? Can you guys hear? I just want to make sure that you guys are hearing this with me. If you guys can hear it, let me know.
Didn't perform at any level in any aspect of the game at the standards that are required to win a game in the Premier League, and we paid the price.
Do you understand why? I mean, I know it's only a few minutes after the game.
There was too many things that went wrong. It was one after the other, basically, and we never got any dominance or control of the game. We scored the second one goal and it's still there. So it's better not to judge it. We are all too emotional about it, and it's not the moment to do it. It's a moment when you don't perform and you are at this level and expectations are where they are. Is now you have to take the hit because as well we deserve it.
I remember you saying after the Manchester United game, this is a moment for being close to the players, almost for looking after them. Would you reiterate that message now? Would you feel a bit differently tonight?
No, exactly the same. And there is not. It's very easy now when you're emotion to start to say things that can damage the team, and that's the ultimate and the worst decision that you can make, because everybody wants to do their best. Nobody questions that. Today we're at the level, at the races, and at the standards that are required. And when you do that, and you want to be at this level, you have to take the hit.
You also spoke after that Manchester United game about enjoying the situation, the position that you've worked really hard to get in. Do you still have a sense that the players aren't doing that right now? You're not enjoying the position you've earned?
But the enjoyment comes from moments of suffering as well. If you believe that you come to any ground in the Premier League and you don't have to go through tough periods, that's not the reality. So enjoyment comes as well from those moments when you're not at the best. Okay, get through and find a way to do that. And today, at the end, in the last minute, we pay the price.
And when you're talking about things missing, are you talking about application, effort, those?
But it's very strange how, like, he looks, by the way, he looks defeated. He looks very defeated, by the way. Looks very defeated. What is this, man? Not happening. No. Oh, no, it's not happening. I don't think it's happening. I think if Pep wins, he's going to stay one more year unless there is something that is happening with the Chargers or something.
It's more quality,
None of that. I never seen that in this team. There are many other aspects that you have to do. Very basic things, simple things, much better than we've done. And if you want to really dominate the game and bring the margins that there should be between the two teams.
Yeah, talking of margins, are you concerned in general over the course of a few games now that when you're getting into tonight, the Brentford game, the Man United game, you're getting into these strong positions and then you're letting teams back in? Has that been going on for a little while now?
Depends, because against Leeds it didn't happen. But whatever it says or judge on, you have to accept it, because today we need to be very critical.
I don't understand what he means by we have to accept it. I don't understand what he means by you have to accept it. What does that even mean? You know, I don't understand. What does he mean by you have to accept? No, you don't have to accept it. You don't. You don't have to accept it. You gotta work on it, broski. You gotta work on it. You don't have to accept. You think City accept that? I don't understand what he means by we have to accept it.
With ourselves in the second half, it wasn't good enough. That's clear.
What about
the criticism?
General,
if he's talking about the criticism, it's fine.
2 wins in 7, starting with that Liverpool game. Is that a concern, or have you seen enough good bits in and around it, some of the cup performances, to not be too concerned?
Well, in the league, that's the numbers and that's the reality, that we haven't been as consistent as we've been in the first few months. You put the cups in between, that's a different story. So, whatever the stats say now, when you don't perform at the level that is required, you have to accept them.
How big a test is it ahead now for the whole club, but for you, for the team, to get this title challenge back on track? You're top, of course.
Now you have to stand up when they have a moment of difficulty, and we feel really frustrated with ourselves. You have the perfect game against the Spurs away to go and show how much we want it and how good we are. That's it. That's what we have to do. Talk on the pitch.
Thank you.
We'll see if he talks on the pitch or doesn't talk on the pitch. I'm not sure if he's gonna talk on the pitch or doesn't talk on the pitch, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if they to be honest with you, if City win on Saturday with Spurs having a listen, I'm not sure. I'm still saying that maybe Arsenal win the game against Spurs. This is against Spurs, but in the same time, you don't know. New manager bounce. You have no idea what's gonna happen with that Spurs team. Maybe they're galvanized. Maybe they are stronger. I'm actually not sure. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not sure what is gonna happen. Last charges, Inter should have been charged for diving like you did yesterday. Like you literally twice yesterday, your player tried to buy a penalty by literally making a dive when someone touched him on the shoulder. On about Salamakers that should have been sent off yesterday. Don't ever talk about referees. Don't ever talk about referees, Hamid. I know there is no Romero. We'll see how it is. Castro, I'm gonna ban you, by the way. You keep saying these stuff. Spurs are too. I don't know any. Tudor is not that good, to be honest with you. It's not that good, right? He's not that good. If they beat Spurs, it could give them the momentum again. So hopefully they drop points. Then it's done. If they drop points and you win against Newcastle, however, there is something. Arsenal need a boost. Yes, if you're gonna talk about a boost, Arsenal need a boost, and the boost is not gonna only come in. Why are you so negative about me, broski? Why are you so negative about me? I don't understand what you're talking. What are you saying? It's the Butlers Derby on Sunday. Well, probably. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you mean? Everyone is saying answer me. The fans won't accept it. phase 8 incoming. We'll see how it goes. Why not sure about what? Don't know what is it. Not sure why. I'm not sure that Arsenal, because of the collapse that happened against Wolves. That is a sign. That is a sign of no. By the way, Saka's injured apparently. Saka's injured. It's a sign. What happened against Wolves, Kingsley, is bad, broski. That's about like what happened. The collapse that happened against Wolves is bad. It's something you don't expect. You don't see. You need to bounce back. But there is no blind faith. There is no blind faith. People think that there's blind faith in teams. There's no blind faith in teams. By the way, these last 2 games, Brentford away and Wolves away, and now they play Spurs away, right? Arsenal, if they take the lead against Spurs, who's guaranteed that they aren't going to sit back, Kingsley? And Spurs came back against Manchester City at their own ground. So Arsenal play at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Who says that Spurs are not, even if Arsenal take the lead, who says that they're not going to come back? The evidence, so here is the thing, the evidence say that Spurs, when they played against Man United, they came back. Yes, they got sacked, Thomas Frank. Sorry, against Man City, they came back. The reality is Arsenal, they played against Wolves, they were 2-0 up. Wolves are weaker than Spurs, and they actually let Wolves back by mistakes. So who says that our North London derby stakes are high? Man City, if they win, you know what I mean? Man City, if they win, they put pressure. Because if Man City win, now it's 2 points. It's 5 points now. It's 2 points. Arsenal must win to keep it 5 points. Now, I believe if Man City don't win, right? Man City don't win, that gives Arsenal a boost. That's different. That's different. Saka played with injury until 300K contract. We're not going to make fun of someone getting injured, Hamid. That's kind of a low blow. You're not going to make fun of someone getting injured, to be honest with you, Hamid. You're not. This part, like, I want to listen to what Thierry Henry said, actually. Let's actually listen to what Thierry Henry said, because I didn't watch that part. I know he said something, but let's see.
Oh, you're looking at the table.
I was, yeah.
You know, that's the way they're going to go about it. Thierry, do you think that's the case?
I keep on saying, and I will not change my tune. Well, if it's in the Champions League, when you guys were telling me that we are top of the league phase, that we are top of the league, let's see where we're going to be at the end of the season. I will not go higher or lower. Then at the end, we can talk about.
So he's sitting on the fence. He hasn't said anything. He's sitting on the fence then.
What's been done or not done. I will not change my tune.
Who would you rather see win the league, Arsenal or City?
Yeah, I think...
I don't understand this Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry is like, I'm going to sit on the fence. No one is going to pressure me to say I back my team or I don't back my... Do you believe in the team that win the league? Well, he literally... Broski is sitting on the fence like, I'm going to see at the end of the season. Okay, so how about Thierry Henry? No, he said he believed... But that's actually not true. No, that's actually not true. I got a video of Thierry Henry. I got a clip of Thierry Henry saying that he believes. He changes his tune. I got it. Like, he said that, look, we stuck with the coach. Look where we are. We're top of the league, top of the Champions League, blah, blah, blah. He said that. He said that about a month ago. He literally said that. He literally said that. Now, he changed his tune. It's either you say that Arsenal are fumbled, you need to stand behind the team. I don't think he trusts them. Probably he doesn't.
I would
Not you.
No, listen, I think I'd probably rather see Arsenal win it, because I think it's good for the league to have different...
Jamie Carragher literally explained the same reasons as mine, actually. This is the part I want.
Not you.
No, listen, I think I'd probably rather see Arsenal win it, because I think it's good for the league to have different winners. I know, so that would mean the Premier League would have had 3 different winners in the last 3 years, which I think is probably good for the league. But what I don't want is a team, unless it's my own team, obviously, to run away with the league, and the league's got nothing. So I'm glad of that result tonight. You know, because I think it makes it exciting. It gives us things to talk about, and you know, stories between now and the end of the season.
The North London Derby.
Yeah, that makes it more of a game now, doesn't it? There's more, you know, focus on that. So yeah, and I think that's really good for the you know, the Premier League. That, but you two don't seem to agree.
We need to go to a break, Kate. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Who do you want to see, Kate?
My courage is I want to actually to discuss something with you guys, to be honest with you. I want to actually say something with you. I want to say something about me as a YouTuber. Number one, there is two things here that I want to discuss with you guys. If I believed that Arsenal were the best team in the league, structurally, they were the best coach team in the league, they fumbled in some games that were still ahead. I expected them to win against Wolves yesterday. And I analyzed the football in front of me. Imagine if I do like the others YouTuber and come here every time and tell you that the team is going to bottle it, they're going to bottle it, they're going to bottle it, they're a bottle job. Number one, I'm not a rival to Arsenal, I'm not a rival to City. If I come here every time and say, yep, I believe this Arsenal team are going to bottle it, and I stop analyzing what's in front of me, I stop analyzing the football in front of me, would that be better for you? I would never do that, but would that be better? Man City keep fumbling, like Chelsea, Spurs, against Sunderland away. He didn't win. They lost against Man United 2-0 when they weren't even the better team on the pitch. So let's say, and I analyzed the football in front of me, and I said that Arsenal were the best team, and I believed it. I believe it, by the way. So and I want to ask you a genuine question. I want someone to answer me in the chat. Even not super chat, I just want to answer, quick answer. Then Arsenal, I believe that yesterday, against Brentford, it was acceptable in a bit that it's a tough game. Brentford were pushing you and they were doing good and all this stuff. But yesterday, when I was watching the game with Inter, I was focusing more on Inter. That's hence I didn't do the match reaction thing. And Arsenal fumbled the way they fumbled against Wolves. Is the right thing to actually analyze the situation that's in front of you and actually say that this is literally the first time I see this Arsenal team being at the end of the game, the nerves, the mistakes are happening, the allowed goals in the game, right? Right? I can explain this. I can explain this. It's not only on Arteta. There are the players, Gabriel, in my opinion, the mistakes I did, Zubamendi, these are players. There are aspects on Arteta, of course, but I'm going to answer this. Like, people think that, yeah, I should come here and say, yeah, Arsenal will still win. They are favorites by a margin. I literally believe that the game yesterday make it 50-50. The game yesterday, I believe, is a massive dent yesterday. And I said it. Yesterday game might be the reason why Arsenal don't win the league. And I have no explanation for it, by the way, with you guys. I have no explanation for why would a team crumble like this, other than maybe Timber was tired and he didn't sub him off. There is one thing. There is one thing, actually. Martinelli is one of the reasons Arsenal might not win the league. I'm not overreacting. People think I'm overreacting to the game yesterday. You really think that I'm overreacting to being 2-0 against Wolves up? Bro, I would say, if this was my team, people that have watched me, you don't know, I would have said way more stuff, but I'm fasting. I would have said way more things about yesterday. The players yesterday were cowards. You want honesty? The Arsenal players were cowards. The players yesterday for Arsenal were not up to the shirt they were wearing. The players let down the fans that travel. The coach and the players let down everyone. The players and the coach yesterday let down everyone that watched Arsenal yesterday. They let down everyone yesterday, because you can understand the hardship. You know what? If you are climbing an uphill battle If you're climbing an uphill battle, if you're climbing a mountain, and you struggle, that is fine. Yesterday's 90 minutes were a race. Where literally you are in the last lap of the race. You're leading by a big margin. And then you decide to stop and drink some water and smoke a cigarette to allow the other racers to come in. You're literally, that's what Arsenal did. You're cruising. You're cruising in the game. I told you until minute 60 yesterday, and I checked it, until minute 60 yesterday, Arsenal had over 63% ball position. Cruising. Until minute 60, Wolves had 0 shots on target. 0 shots on target. 0.1 XG, 0.01 XG if I'm not mistaken. 0.1 XG if I'm not mistaken. Can you imagine what is a 0.1 XG? 0.06, 0.06 XG. 0.06 XG. 0.06. I am overreacting. Bro, I don't think people understand how detrimental what happened yesterday is. Like, I don't think people understand. I was confident that Arsenal will win against Wolves. They're going to go to Spurs and win the game, right? But you want to talk about the game? Bro, I'm just checking. 95, 53. Oh, their shot was 0.04 XG. But yeah, but it's a tough shot. It should have been blocked. Raya was ahead. I don't know why. Bro, 2-0 against, so I don't think people understand, actually. I really don't understand people. People are taking it lightly. I really wanted to show you what Rory said, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can show you the whole thing. Let me actually see if I can show you what Rory said.
Honestly, make them walk home. That is disgusting. How have you just gone to a relegated team? They have all accepted they are relegated. They're done. No motivation, really, and yet you've been outfought by them. You've been embarrassed by them.
One of the main things that Rory said here is that he said that they were outfought by them. That is one of the key words. Outfought is ridiculous.
How can you expect to win a title? How can you?
This is one of the most realistic reactions to a game that I have seen, actually. He saw it, like, he said he didn't blindly back the team. He literally said everything.
You expect to shake this tag that you as players have, and this is on you. Every single one of those players, you have a tag of being weak and pathetic and bottling it. And that's how you convince people that, no, that's not you. No, that's not us. You just got to a relegated team and thrown a 2-goal lead away. What is wrong with you? This is the most amount of fight you show all night. After the final whistle. No, that's useful, that is. That is really useful for all of us. That was the time to show the fight. This was our second half performance. 3 shots, 1 on target against a relegated team. But it was ever, we took the lead. We went 1-0 up, and at that point we thought, oh, well, that's that done then. Well, we've won then. Won't bother playing football for the rest of the game. And we never did. We never played football in that game. I cannot believe what I've just seen. And then ultimately, it comes down to individual errors and panicking. That is what this is. Once again, we've conceded in injury time this season, and it's cost us. Gabriel, people are blaming David Raya. That's Gabriel. Gabriel has no reason to be there. Raya catches that comfortably, and he gets to then hold on to the ball. We have possession. You don't need Gabriel heading that up in the air. But he's tried to do too much. He's overcompensated. But we shouldn't have even been in a position to concede a last-minute equaliser. The game should have been dead and buried. Arteta's to blame. Why? What has Norgard done wrong, by the way? Zubimendi Poor all game, adding absolutely nothing. But no, Norgard is not allowed to touch the pitch in the Premier League. That's not allowed. Jurdy and Timber the same. Shocking all night. But Ben White doesn't come on. That's the title done. I honestly, I don't see this team coming back from that. Because if you can't handle that, if you can't handle the pressure when you are 4 points clear and you're away at Wolves, how are you going to handle it in the big games when City are potentially 2 points behind? Like, honestly, I'm just fucking disgusted. Honestly.
This is one of the most realistic match reactions I've seen, to be honest with you. And that's why when I tell you guys that I know Rory, I speak to Rory. Rory is not deluded as people think. Rory backs the team. Rory believes in his team. But Rory, this is what I said. What you have seen yesterday, it's something that you cannot be accepting. You cannot go out and accept stuff like this. A lot of people called Rory deluded, and I actually think that Rory is one of the good guys, one of the very, very good in analyzing football. He literally is spitting. This is exactly everything I wanted to say. Like, Gabriel, everyone that is blaming Raya for that second goal, you don't know ball. You literally don't know ball. You don't know ball. Everyone that is saying that it was Raya's fault, you don't know ball. He's just so busy now. We're going to try to get Rory. Again, I'm going to tell you what. David Raya, as a professional goalkeeper, when that ball was played, and go watch the goal again. I cannot play it here. David Raya went for the ball, said easy catch. He definitely shouted his name because, listen, my amateur goalkeeper in my Thursday and Tuesday leagues, they shout goalie or they shout their name if they're going for the ball. All right? Raya definitely shouted for the ball. Gabriel had no business trying to clear that ball. Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. TKA, you're asking who's to blame. I believe yesterday was more on the players. But it's a 60-40. Because, I'm going to tell you, one of the things that, like, I am so, like, if I'm watching the game and I have a player like Martin, and people know when I watch Inter and I got like these donkeys sometimes play football, Gabriel Martinelli, my man, it's a clear opportunity to cross the ball. Just raise your head. Stop being a donkey. Stop putting your head down. Watch the game. He didn't raise it. There was, I don't know who was running next to him. I don't know if it was Eucharist. I can't remember who was running. I can't remember. It was Eze or somebody. Oh my God, this guy, Gabriel Martinelli. Bro, you're only good in one thing in football when teams open up and you have spaces and you cannot even cross the damn ball to make things happen. Gabriel Jesus at the end. Gabriel Jesus at the end. My man, he got a one-on-one chance. He couldn't even beat the defender. By the way, that chance at the end, right before they scored, that header that Hincapié played and Gabriel Jesus was one-on-one. You know, I'm going to tell you something. That is not ability. That is not technical ability. That is not football IQ. That is nothing. You know what? I watched it because it popped in front of my TikTok or Instagram. And one of them. And I'm going to tell you what. That chance is 100%. If you go at it again, that chance is 100% a fight. That Gabriel Jesus didn't put his body on the line. Gabriel Jesus didn't want to fight Mosquera for that ball. He didn't. He didn't want to fight Mosquera. Go watch it again. Just 30 seconds before the goal was scored. Just 30 seconds before the goal was scored. A throw in for Wolves. Hincapié heads it back. Gabriel Jesus from the left going to the goal. He doesn't even fight for it. He let Mosquera step in front of him, get the ball and go back. He doesn't even fight for it. And I'm like, who do you think you are, bro? I didn't fight for the ball, bro. Fight. You know what? if it goes to a goal kick, if it goes to a corner, if they clear it to a throw-in, that is fine. You know, sometimes, yesterday in the Inter game, there were some players that I was watching the game. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You know what? Mkhitaryan yesterday for the Inter, which is, I'm going to relate this to the Arsenal. Mkhitaryan for Inter yesterday was so bad that he didn't win one duel. Any challenge ball he lost. But Mkhitaryan is 36. Jesus, your prime age, broski. You're in your prime. When are you going to fight up? Mkhitaryan is 37. When are you going to fight? If you aren't going to fight in minute 90, right? In minute 90, in minute 90, when are you going to fight? Do you watch Bernardo Silva? I'm sorry. You know what? People say Bernardo Silva is this and that. You know what? Bernardo Silva dies on the pitch. I'm going to say Gabriel died on the pitch. Gabriel, Rice. We saw Rice against Brentford running 70 yards back to intercept. You see Gabriel. You know what? Gabriel makes a mistake. Hincapié makes a mistake. Hincapié. By the way, that goal they scored, Hincapié went flying to try to block the ball. Gabriel Jesus can fight. He doesn't fight. Wallahi, Rory said it right. The most fight they showed, like he showed, is after the game. Are you mad? You're crazy. Been arguing since yesterday. It was Gabriel's fault, not 100%. Even if Raya had Raya, look, let's establish something. We don't know, but I'm sure that Raya is a professional goalkeeper. He definitely called. And even if he didn't call, surely best center back should be judged on poor cross with nobody attacking its keeper, catches it, which would ease us 100%. He should be aware of what's going on around him. You should be same as when we criticize Van Dijk against Bournemouth, when he wasn't aware and he didn't clear the ball. Gabriel, my man, you made a mistake against Bournemouth passing the ball back. The last game in the beginning of the game, you made a mistake passing to David Raya. This game, you made a mistake as well. What is happening? You were very consistent. You were the best center back in the world. You were scoring goals. You were you were marking people out of games. You were doing everything. What happened? What happened? What happened to you? Why you can't pass the ball the same? What happened? And that's what I mean. That's what I mean. No one can predict these things. No one can predict these things. Like, why would I predict that he's just going to make mistakes like this? I don't understand. I don't understand. You're right, my man. It's a very long name, bro. I'm going to check something, actually. Your name is Pandan. Pandan, my man. Big up, my man. Robert's chances would have... Robert Santos, like, listen, it's not about cleared anything. Gabriel Gabriel played as a striker. He went back to him. He went back. He was backing into him, broski. It's like, it's so strange. I'm just going to tell you. It's very strange what happened. It's unacceptable. And it's ridiculous. And I understand why Arsenal fans are absolutely annoyed.
5 things we learned from Arsenal 2, Wolves 2. Too many players in this team starting games, kept on in games when their performances don't warrant it. Jurriën Timber was off it all night tonight, and I think he got a knock early on, and maybe you blame it on that. But the point is, he was not at the level at any point tonight. Regularly losing the ball, offering nothing.
One of the things that people don't mention yesterday is that I went and checked. the stats. If I'm not mistaken, Arsenal normally, and I said that about Arsenal, one of the things that I said about Arsenal before is that during the season, one of the season's things, Arsenal don't lose possession, don't get dispossessed. Arsenal would lose the possession to a goal kick, to a corner kick, to a throw-in. One of the things that Arteta did, and that's why hence I said Arsenal were very good coach, is that if you're going to lose the ball, don't allow the opposition to dispossess you in open play. You'll only get dispossessed to a throw-in, to a free kick, something like this. Yesterday, for example, it was Arsenal got dispossessed in the open play. Like, what I mean by that, it's a miss pass. The player lose the ball. Like, the player tried to dribble and they lose the ball. And I'm like, bro, this is not normal. This is not normal. It's something that I haven't seen before by Arsenal. How are you getting dispossessed like this with ease? How is someone, you know, in like amateur football, when you're getting dispossessed like this, someone, like, you know, when a winger has the ball and the defense dispossess him and start an attack, hence, there was a lot of second balls, there was a lot of things that happened that weren't. It's very strange to me what happened to Arsenal yesterday. Rory spot on. There's too many dispossession that happened yesterday.
Going forwards, and he's kept on. No Ben White. You could even bring on Mosquera. Exactly the same with Martin Zubimendi. And in the case of Zubimendi, I'm not even sure that, again, tonight, I don't think we needed Zubimendi and Rice. Like, again, do you need both of them in games like this? Probably not. But if you are going to insist on having two of those types, but Norgard, if I'm Norgard, I'm smashing on Arteta's door tomorrow and saying, what is the point in me being at this club? To play against Wigan? Why is he not allowed to play in the Premier League? Well, what is the issue with him playing in the Premier League? When we need someone to just control it. Like, we brought him in for Premier League experience. We brought him in for these moments where you need a cool head, an experienced head. Nah, yeah, leave him on the bench. Like, what are you doing? That was the nice moment. Would have been great if we'd won. It was good. You know, Saka in the 10, 5 minutes in, scores a goal. You know, you're thinking, this is great. This is exactly what we wanted. After that, did he do all too much in the 10? No.
He didn't do anything. He didn't even, like, let me check. He didn't even do anything. He didn't. Saka didn't do a lot in the 10, didn't do anything. Saka, yeah, played like Saka. The 10 got 8. He's injured again. He's injured again. He completed 20 passes. Not the worst, you know what I mean, from the 10. He had one shot. He had 56 touches. That's not bad. Completed 6 dribbles. Actually, that's not bad. But again, if you have a donkey playing in the front, like Eucharist, what's going to happen? He wasn't bad. The striker does. Victor Eucharist. When I tell you that Arsenal needs a superstar, it does, you know what? Just fucking keep Eucharist. But you gotta have a Dembele. You gotta have a Harry Kane. You gotta have a Michael Olise, bro. Like, you know what? In the front, like, Saka used to be that guy for Arsenal. Saka used to be that guy for Arsenal. You know what I mean? Saka used to be the guy on the side, the go-to guy. The Arsenal gave him the ball. He creates something. He makes things happen. Over the last 2 years, it's ridiculous. Yeah, because none of them is a superstar, Azia. None of them is a superstar, Azia. None of them. Azia, nobody. None of these players are that player down there. Martinelli. And that moment when Martinelli did 2-1 to the crowd, bro, focus on the game. Why are you talking to the fans? You are under pressure. Walls are coming at you. You don't have possession. You just missed a great opportunity to try to cross it to your teammate. Why are you talking to the fans? Why are you talking to the fans? Why? Why are you talking to the fans, bro? Why are you telling the fans to one? Just focus on the damn game. What are you doing? Yeah, because because they don't have super. Bro, I've been banging on this since day one. If it's not for Saka doing his job that he did over the last 3 years, there is nobody to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Odegaard is weak. Weak personality, weak player. Weak personality, weak player. They don't have that guy. They don't have them. How many times I said that Arsenal need a freaking maverick? Arsenal need a maverick. Arsenal needs someone that is a big name. It was supposed to be Eze, by the way. I don't know what happened to that guy. Remember when I said Madueke? Remember when I said, why would you spend 50 million on Madueke? Why? No, that's wrong. People in the chat will tell you, I have been saying that what is missing from this Arsenal team is a big name. Yeah, I just talking about this yesterday, even before the game happened. I was talking about this before the game happened. I was talking about Martinelli being a donkey with Martin a week ago. I was talking about Madueke in the summer. There is a video of me talking about Madueke in the summer. But again, I said that again. I said, Arsenal, but Lookman is not the guy. I said the Arsenal are very well structured. And hence they are getting by, they are winning the games because the team is very well structured. They score goals by some the midfielders set pieces. They score enough goals to win them the games. However, even yesterday, they scored enough. Okay, let me explain to you something. Yesterday, Arsenal scored enough goals to win the game comfortably. Without a superstar. They scored. They scored. He scored yesterday. 2 goals. 2 goals should be enough against the relegation side. You score in the first 5 minutes, game's over. Yeah, Lookman, again, you didn't watch Lookman as much as I did, right? Lookman is good. Arsenal need a bigger name. Lookman is good. Arsenal need a bigger name. Need a name that is bigger, a maverick. Need a name that will strike fear in the opposition. None of the Arsenal forwards strike fear in the oppositions. Big part of Troops actually was talking about this. Big part of football, for anybody that played any level of football, is confidence. Confidence as well in yourself and also your opposition's fear. It's 2 parts. You being very confident in yourself and the opposition have fear. There are names in world football that strike fear. None of the Arsenal players, bar Saka, and Saka 2 years ago, or in the beginning of last year, none of the Arsenal forwards strike fear. None. And I said that plenty of times. Harry Kane strike fear. Michael Olise, Lamine Yamal, and I'm not saying you go find, you go do your research. Fear, strike. You know what? Even Erling Haaland might not be a maverick in terms of dribbling, but Erling Haaland, as a name, strike fear. There is fear. You know what? We can bang on Didier Drogba all day long. Didier Drogba strike fear. Lewandowski, fear. That big factor. Fear is big factor in football. Thierry Henry, fear. Bergkamp, fear. In the opposition. Alexis Sanchez, fear. Ozil, fear. Fear. That people that play football know what I'm talking about. That fear factor. Your forward line don't have the fear factor. And Saka now is being right-sided in the center. He's injured. He's in and out of the team. You don't have fear. It's hazard. You don't have fear. Alexis Sanchez. You know what? Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal. And people, well, yeah, I played football. And at my level. At my level. We have in some games, and I'm going to tell you a real story. We have in some games, there was a player called Juan Agudelo that played for the Houston Dynamos. So he was a pro with a contract in the Houston Dynamos. In the league, we played against a team called Titans, right? They were 2nd or 3rd, sometimes 4th, 5th. Juan Agudelo was a friend of the owner of the team. In the off season, when they had sometimes off in MLS, he used to register with them, right? And play against us when he was under contract with the Dynamos. Every time we played Titans and Juan Agudelo played, the name itself, right? When we see that Juan Agudelo is there, that by itself make us change our plans. Like he used to play on the left or the right side. The fullback, we used to tell the fullback, you cannot go forward. We used to tell our center back during that side, you need to lean towards that center right. We used to tell the DM, I need you to lean to the right side, right? You need to lean to the right side. That's just because why? Because he's for us, because we're amateurs. I'm older than him. He's younger. He's in his 20s. So for me, that's the level of fear. And I'm talking about the level of fear. Fear. You know what I mean? Arturo, there is another name that played in our league. Mohamed Kalon that played for Inter. Then he's coaching Sierra Leone now. Mohamed Kalon used to play in the league here. Once Mohamed Kalon stepped on the pitch, he strikes fear. We adjust. Arturo Alvarez is another name. Arturo is a Salvadorian international. He played 50 caps for El Salvador. Arturo was just retired and came to play with his friends. His friends are in Houston. The name, because we're amateurs, like we stopped playing. I stopped playing for like 20 years. That's the name. The thing about it, you need a fear. You need a name that will strike fear. I played in the Taurus multiple times, right? We won the league at Taurus. Jesse, we actually won the league at Taurus. I won the league up two times at Taurus, the 5-a-side league. Against the guys, the AACs and all the guys, yeah. We won the league at Taurus, the 5-a-side league. It's one of the toughest 5-a-side leagues I've ever played. Everyone there is a baller. It was just ridiculous. So Jesse, I'm from Houston as well, so. Yeah. If there is no win this season, it's a new manager and a massive attacker, or we riot, or I promise everyone will. I'm going to tell you something, Tony. I'm going to tell you something, Tony. Arsenal need an attacker with or without next season. Arsenal need a maverick with or without season. If you played at Taurus and you don't know and you haven't recognized me by yet, bro, I played at Taurus, I think 12 consecutive seasons since 2021 until 2024. Because the season is short, the season is only 8 games. I don't have any pace now. I have no pace now. No pace now. I used to have so much pace, just to let you know. So I don't know where he played. But maybe he was from Houston. I don't know if he played for the Dynamos or he played for MLS. But he used to be here in the off season. But you know that he's in MLS. He's from, he played for, let me check. Actually, he played. He used to come here in the off season then. I don't know. I don't watch MLS, but he used to be on the MLS. He used to play for someone in the MLS, yeah. But I think he lived in Houston because he knew all the guys. If you're from Houston, I'll tell you the names. Four in a row. Second never happened. 4 in a row is ridiculous. 4 in a row is ridiculous. Bro, if you get 4 in a row second, it's fucking weird, bro. It's so strange. I don't know what to tell you. It's actually ridiculous. Who actually is spamming? Oh my God. Someone is spamming. 4 feet of second is crazy. 4 feet of second is crazy, actually. It's actually nuts. It's actually crazy. I don't know where to go. Like, I don't know where Arsenal go from here other than who's going to come in. Unless you're going to get Luis Enrique, though. And you're going to get Dembele with him. It's madness. Forget trophyless. Even if we do a cup treble and bottle the league, I still don't know how Arteta stays at the club. A cup triple. You think winning the Champions League, they're going to have a statue for him if he wins the Champions League. Next season, he can start brilliantly and be 10 clear in December, and I won't trust him. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. Bro, if he wins the Champions, if Arteta, if people come here, and I stated that from the beginning of the season, if people come here, if Arsenal win the Carabao Cup, but he bottles the league and doesn't win the Champions League, that is not good enough. If he wins a cup double, it's not good enough. I'm sorry. I'm with Dayo here. Dayo is the one who said that. To be honest with you, Dio is the one who said that. Cup double. Prem or the champs. The Prem or the champs, it's okay. The Prem or the champs. Without a shadow of a doubt, the Prem or the champs. You gotta do one of them. More Arsenal need no worry. We will ship them quality left wing in 49 next season. Smash the likes, people. How do you know Toros? I don't know where you're from. It's not a coin, it's 4 Pete if you come second. It's 4 Pete if you come second. Listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway. I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm gonna let you guys go. In 2 hours, we're gonna have a show with Paz, Patrick, Ram, and Touchline. It's gonna be a fun show. Hit that like button, guys, if you guys are here. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe if you guys are new. I will see you guys. This is gonna take you to Football Terrace. I'll see you guys here. This is gonna be big one. Hit the like button and subscribe, people, if you are new. And appreciate everyone that super chatted the channel, everyone that is involved in the conversation. Thank you so much. I will see you guys at 8. Get back at 8 p.m. UK here. We're out of here.